The NFL Draft is rapidly approaching. Time for an all-new 2025 NFL mock draft from yours truly. I am Tom Downey. No trades in this one, although there will be trades come draft day. Let's get into it. Number 1, Cam Ward to the Tennessee Titans. The vibe I get is if a team wants to blow away Tennessee, the Giants at 3, with a 3 first-round pick trade offer, they'll trade down. They'll say, yep, we'll pass on Cam Ward, but they don't want to do that. They have to be blown away, and the Giants don't want to do it, and the likely outcome is a stick and pick with Cam Ward going number 1 overall. Now, if you want more NFL draft coverage and live NFL draft coverage of the actual NFL draft this year, you've come to the right spot. Look, this video is going up on our NFL draft channel first, by the way, but the live NFL draft coverage will be here on Chat Sports. All the picks, they come in faster than the actual networks. We will do actual analysis of the picks. We won't do the nonsense of not discussing a player to go do a stupid interview. I hate when they do that. Not going to be an issue here. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Let's go with what if the Browns don't go quarterback at number 2? And if I had to guess right now, this can change the next 3 weeks. I'll go Abdul Carter, who I think the Browns would probably view as the best player in this year's class, and they will be patient in a shaky quarterback class. And I'll put Travis Hunter to the Giants. I consulted both our Browns host and Giants hosts on these 2 picks here. We'll talk about Shedeur Sanders in a little bit, but Giants have Russell Wilson; they can get by. Hunter and former LSU receiver Malik Neighbors. It's a really fun duo. Hunter is my number 1 player. It's BPA at 2 and 3. So for the Patriots, I think it gets kind of easy. If Carter and Hunter aren't there, fill your biggest need with the best offensive lineman in the class. I think Mike Vrabel is going to overlook the arm length issues, and he will just happily take Will Campbell. I think his mindset matches up pretty well with Mike Vrabel, and they fill a huge need. I like the Mason Graham fit with the Jags, and there's no more Trent Baalke to have a vendetta against Michigan players because he hates Jim Harbaugh. Real thing, by the way. They need an interior presence. It's probably BPA for them. It all works out. Ashton Jeanty might not go 6. I think this is where his range begins, though. You get to pair him up with Geno Smith. Shedeur's maybe not an impossibility at 6, by the way. But I think having the new Marshawn Lynch, who's maybe even more explosive, at 6 would be a good fit for Vegas and Pete Carroll. I love the Armand Membou fit. I was on Tyler Warren for a while. Then they lost Morgan Moses. You plug him in at right tackle. You build to the trenches. Aaron Glenn gets a football player first. I think that's the logical fit for New York at 7, who could maybe go 4. Jalon Walker. I have a tough time going with where he goes. The number 2 edge wouldn't be a surprise if he went 8 overall. But one person's number 2 edge is going to be somebody else's edge 4 or edge 5. So the range goes from 8 to 28. It's a huge range of outcomes. But I think Walker and his kind of hybrid play style is what Carolina can build around. I'll put Shedeur Sanders here at 9. I will be upfront and honest here. I don't know where he's going to go. There is a chance that when we get to draft night, we have to discuss every the pick, is this the Shedeur spot? Where does he go? Or he goes to the board the first couple picks, and it's okay, it's a done deal, and Shedeur's, off the board, and he's the franchise QB for somebody. The Saints are still kind of actually rebuilding, but they're also not because they keep spending money on old players. It's kind of weird. But I think getting a potential franchise QB at 9, I think does fit Kellen Moore pretty decently, is an option. And if it's not 9 for Shedeur Sanders, by the way, it might be a long slide for him. We might very well get into 21 with Pittsburgh or a trade up for him. So come draft night, who takes Shedeur Sanders? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Pin comment. Go vote right now. Talked with Harrison Graham for the Bears pick, Chase Sr. for the Niners pick too, by the way. Tyler Warren to the Bears. The Lions and Ben Johnson love 2 tight end personnel. Ben Johnson has spoken highly of Tyler Warren. He's a playmaker. The tackles are off the board. This is the next best fit for Chicago. Tackles also off the board. Mason Graham off the board for the 49ers. I'll give them Mike Green. That defensive line needs help. They are not good right now up front. Mike Green is a bit undersized weight-wise, but he has good arm length and wildly productive. But there are the off-field stuff that he has to address. Teteroa McMillan out of Arizona, pick 12 to the Dallas Cowboys. I just think this is a no-brainer. Like, maybe it's Matthew Golden instead, but if all the receivers are off the board or on the board, I think the Cowboys would go receiver with their best available wideout. And I think that's still T-Mac, but I think Matthew Golden is worth mentioning here too. Receivers are gone. It might be Will Johnson for Dallas, by the way. I got him here at 13 to the Dolphins. The Cam Smith pick is shaky at best right now. My boy Nick Roloff mocked this one in his latest mock draft. I think it makes sense, actually. I think he's a good scheme fit, and I think they need more talent on the outside. We'll see if he runs a 40 or not, though. Number 14, Colston Loveland, tight end from Michigan. Tyler Warren, I don't think he gets past 14 to Indy, and Loveland is actually a really good fit for what Indianapolis wants to do up front, too. The Falcons are still searching for edge help. I'm going to give them Mykel Williams, who I am not as high on, but Mike Green's also off the board, so it's not actually a bad pick necessarily. Bit more production than Shamar Stewart. Not quite the same elite athletic ability. I don't know what to do with Arizona. Now, they did sign Calais Campbell right before we filmed the mock draft, but I don't think that changes anything long-term for them. I think they want to get better on the inside. I think Kenneth Grant is a freak athlete with physical upside and traits and everything you want in a run stopper who can also push the pocket. And I think he does go some point in mid to late round 1 range. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. It is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Springtime is here. Baseball season is underway. You can add your favorite players from the Diamond to your Prize Picks lineups, or season-long football is also available. I like the less stands on these because the Lions' offense probably won't be as good. Travis Kelce's not going to be as involved with Rashee Rice's return. Jaden Daniels probably won't run as much. I like the less stands on all of those. So download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play that first $5 lineup. I'll go different pick here. Number 17, Nicky Manwari, out of the safety from South Carolina, out of Cincinnati. Some of the edges are gone. I think they probably won't go guard in round 1, but I think safety is a sneaky pick for Cincinnati, and Manwari is a freak athlete too. Now, I know Seattle, picking at 18 here, doesn't like taking guards early, but they have to. It is such a bad interior of the offensive line. They need to take someone like Tyler Booker, plug him in, have success. I do kind of question the scheme fit, but I want to emphasize how big of a need this is for Seattle. Tampa at 19, I love the fit of Jihad Campbell. I think he is a perfect linebacker for Todd Bowles' defense. He could be in play at 17. He can be in play a little bit earlier. I think he is a guaranteed round 1 pick. Broncos, pick 20, Amarian Hampton. There is their feature back for Sean Payton, who can do pass-catching stuff, who's got kind of a great athletic and production profile. He's not Ashton Jeanty. That's why he's not going top 10, but I think he goes in the first round. Steelers at number 21. I just refuse to mock a quarterback if it's not Shedeur at 21. So I'll go Derek Harmon. Cam Hayward cannot play forever. They're a little bit thin in terms of top-end talent at the defensive tackle spot. I think Derek Harmon is the 3rd best DT behind the 2 Michigan players. I am a huge fan of his game. I think he'd thrive in Pittsburgh. Chargers at pick number 22. Let's find a spot for another receiver. They all just kind of fell in this year's draft. But I've got Matthew Golden out of Texas here at pick 22 to the LA Chargers, giving them some vertical threat speed to pair with Ladd McConkey long term. At 23 for the Packers, Shamar Stewart is the most Packers pick possible. Gifted athlete, doesn't have great production, but he's a freak athlete. fits their size and height and weight and speed profiles. Like, I think the Packers want an edge to pair with Rashawn Gary long term. I think if Stewart gets to 23, I love that team player fit. I didn't do trades in this mock draft. If I did, I would have had Minnesota trade down. They need picks. If they stay at 24, how about someone like Ray Zabel, who can plug in at guard for them, which I think is kind of their main outstanding need right now on the offensive line. Texans at 25, thought about Donovan Jackson. Kelvin Banks could play guard for a year if you needed him to, and also take over long-term at left tackle, kind of replace Cam Robinson once his one-year deal is done. I have considered playing a guard, but I think at 25, it's a pretty good fit. I am a big fan of Jahdae Barron, who've got off the board here at 26 to the LA Rams. He won't be for everyone. He's got short arms. I think there are some man coverage concerns, but zone corner for the Rams defense is a perfect fit. They are also, by the way, a trade down candidate this year. They're also maybe a QB in round one. At least they've been mocked a lot there. How many QBs do you think go in the first round? 1, 2, 3? Is it somehow 4? Let me know in the comments of today's show. The Ravens at 27. Hey, you take Malachi Starks. You can now kind of go back to using Kyle Hamilton as a do-it-all chess piece at safety. And it's the Ravens SEC value pick. They love that stuff. Detroit Lions pick 28. How about Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State? Jameis Williams will get the fifth-year option. Might not be there forever. Emeka Egbuka fulfills the no block, no rock mindset that I think Dan Campbell will love and appreciate. He is a Dan Campbell type of player in round one. Pick 29, the Commanders. Donovan Ezeraku out of Boston College. I think he is a gifted, bendy athlete, has pass rush ability. The Commanders still could use another piece there at edge, especially opposite Dorrance Armstrong and the rest of the crew. The Bills at 30. Let's try again at corner. Kaiir Elam did not work out. Maybe Maxwell Harrison will. Favorite combine interview. Great testing. Ball skills. Down year for Kentucky. The entire defense had a down year, though. The Chiefs at 31. How about Josh Simmons? I know they signed Jalon Moore, but you have to find a way to protect your franchise QB. It's a short deal for Jalon Moore. You can make sure Simmons has time to recover from the patella tendon injury and hopefully have your long-term left tackle. The Eagles at number 32 here. I think they're also maybe a trade candidate here is how he loves to wheel and deal. I think the Commanders also, by the way, an obvious trade candidate. I think they need another guy on the interior. Like, you lose Milton Williams, you haven't really replaced him. On the outside, you have Josh Uche and stuff, but Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, I think Moro Ojomo could be a nice breakout player, but adding Walter Nolan is the possible how we did it again scenario. So who did I leave out of round one? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Then I'll mention some names here in just a second. If a third QB goes in round one, sounds like it'll be Jackson Dart. I am actually not a huge fan of his game as a round one player, but it's the NFL. QBs go early. Luther Burden, I am a fan of his game. NFL seems to not be as high. They can be wrong like they were about Brian Branch. Donovan Jackson could sneak into round one. James Pierce has round one talent, who's got character stuff off the field that is a concern for teams. Siobhan Ravel, if the medical clears, could easily go in round one.